brothers over where you stay at. I got a lot of brothers, different mothers, ayy. Some crippin', some blood, you can't touch them. Some crippin', some blood, and I love them. Them crickets get scared when we ain't popping at each other. It's finna be a real cold summer, red bandana like I am my name in 400.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today for the Deliver Black Dreams Columbus community dedication for the first mural of this historic and multifaceted racial equity campaign. As everyone knows, and we're all painfully aware, at the end of May, our country erupted in grief, anger, and outrage after the death, modern day lynching of George Floyd. Streets of Columbus filled with protesters sharing those emotions and demanding changes in policing and in the community. Columbus is committed to that change. November 3rd, Columbus voters overwhelmingly passed a measure to establish a civilian police review board and create an inspector general for the Columbus Division of Police to conduct independent investigations into police misconduct. This is a historic moment for our community. We've been talking about a civilian review board for decades, and now the people have spoken loudly and clearly of their intentions and goals. But it doesn't stop here. If we're truly committed to building a city that is free of racism and oppression, we need to seek out, recognize, and tear down the tacit walls of systemic racism in all facets of our government, businesses, and institutions. We have the chance and calling to build our great city on an equity foundation based on justice and equality. Our equity agenda that we announced in February calls out racism and discrimination wherever we find it, wherever it exists, and our collective plans to address it. It's not enough just to call it out and to diagnose it, but to own the remedy. From reducing infant mortality to ensuring access to high quality pre-K to eviction reform and creating more opportunities for Black owned and women owned businesses. We are in a public health crisis that is showing no signs of slowing. COVID-19 is a public health crisis, but so is racism. Equity must be the lens through which we address each stage of the crises. Otherwise, the gaps that already exist will grow, and those gulfs will deepen and widen. Columbus should be a place where all of our residents can thrive, not just a few, where a young African-American boy or girl can dream and know that their dream is attainable and won't be impossible simply because of the color of their skin. We want to be a city where the dreams of so many African Americans and people of color come to fruition. And that starts by investing in public art by African Americans and people of color that will inspire our community and lift up the hopes and aspirations of our residents and challenge our neighbors and city leaders to commit to equity in all walks of life. Deliver Black Dreams isn't a sole piece of art. It's a multifaceted community effort that will continue to educate our community and engage young artists in the years ahead. Now more than ever, Columbus strives to be a city where we can and will deliver Black dreams. Thank you to the Greater Columbus Arts Council, including Tom Katzmeyer and Jamie Goldstein, Marshall Shorts and Sherry Neal from the Maroon Arts Group, who led this effort, Lisa McLyman, who served as the project manager and lead artist and also serves on the Columbus Art Commission. I want to sincerely thank all of the artists and volunteers who came together to complete the mural. And I want to sincerely thank and lift up Councilmember Shayla Favor. Councilmember, we wouldn't be here without your vision and commitment to making this happen. I want to thank you for that. Also, I want to thank you for all of your incredible work during a very challenging year in so many different parts of our lives here. But at this point, I'd like to turn things over to Councilmember Shayla Favor and have her share her comments and thoughts about our collective work on this.
Thank you, Mayor Ginther, and thank you to everyone joining us here virtually for the dedication of the first Delivering Black Dreams mural. Today represents a bright spot in the midst of what is and continues to be a difficult year for our city and country. I appreciate this moment to celebrate art, culture, and the promise of a brighter future for every resident in our city. This has been an extraordinary year for the Black Lives Matter movement. Although this renewed energy was birthed from the pain of the murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and the countless Black lives that have been lost to police brutality and racism, we have collectively channeled that frustration into an opportunity to not only truly learn about our past, but also reimagine a better future for Black and Brown people. Columbus City Council, as well as Franklin County, declared racism as a public health crisis this year. This means we have acknowledged that we can no longer conduct business as usual in our city. Black and Brown children and families have been negatively impacted by generations of systemic racism, and we cannot continue. When I think about delivering Black dreams, I think about how all of our futures are tied together. When Black and Brown people succeed, we all succeed. Every Columbus resident, no matter their skin color, deserves to live in a city that supports their future. I am proud and honored to play a small part in this movement, and I'm thankful for every partner that has come together to make this project successful. Thank you to the Department of Public Service, with a special shout out to Director Gallagher and Randy Borntrager, who have helped see this project through. I went to them back in June with a desire to do some street paint honoring Black Lives Matter, and they began the work with GCAC to elevate this idea. Thank you to GCAC, especially Tom Katzenmeyer and Jamie Goldstein, who have done an amazing job helping lead this effort. GCAC has intentionally collaborated with Black creators to help facilitate this public art project that, as you can see, is inspirational, aspirational, and critical to advancing the mission of celebrating, honoring, and empowering Black lives. I think it's important here to recognize GCAC's role as an ally in this work. They have used their position to center Black artists and thinkers in this effort. And this style of leading can serve as an example for others in our community. Thank you to the many volunteers and artists who came out a few weeks ago to help execute this vision. I truly enjoyed working alongside the volunteers who gave of their time and talent to paint and bring this mural to life. I also want to thank this opportunity again to thank Mayor Ginther and his staff, as well as my colleagues on council, who have helped to financially support this work. This is just one way in which we can show our commitment to the difficult but important work of racial equity. We have much more coming, but this is just the beginning. I now have the pleasure of introducing our next speaker, my friend and visionary behind Delivering Black Dreams, Marshall Shorts. Marshall, many thanks to you and Lisa and the Maroon Arts Group for all of the heavy work you have done to pull this project off. We appreciate your creativity and look forward to the next phases of this extraordinary campaign. Marshall, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Shayla. I certainly do not deserve all of that credit. I'll start. I wrote some things down so I wouldn't mumble my words. So I'm going to read. But first, thank you to all the many hands that have made this work possible. My good friend Shayla Favor, who just introduced me, for putting this work into motion. Mayor Ginther, for your support and the commitment to delivering Black dreams in Columbus. To the GCAC team for their unrelenting support and labor in making this initiative happen. I also want to give special thanks to some powerful, powerful women in our community who are really like almost solely responsible for making this first mural happen. And that is Sherry J. Neal, um, our fearless leader at Maroon Arts Group, Lisa McClyman, who led the art on this beautiful mural, Candace Aguilicay for keeping us on task, and Jamie Goldstein for her powerful energy and making things happen. And also to my wife, who has counseled me many nights as we are working on this and through this. And then the rest of the team at Maroon Arts Group and GCAC, the board, and all the many hands, all the sponsors and partners, artists and community members who showed up to touch the wall or to donate time and effort to this mural. I'll start by quoting the artist Tamashi Jackson, who is currently exhibiting at the Wexner Art Center, and saying, "I don't seek to use my painting practice as a form of intellectual escape. I've learned that my work is work. It is this sentiment that I bring to my creative practice and the work we are doing with Deliver Black Dreams." I had the opportunity to work with some really powerful cultural workers and activists and organizers over the last few months in a multi-state campaign to engage the Black citizens of our country around political process and civic engagement. That effort was called Deliver Black Dreams. I was honored to bring that work to this initiative with the understanding that culture is everywhere that people are, that art does more than dress walls and windows. Art does and can do more. Art must do more. Deliver Black Dreams Columbus is a call to action to the citizens of Columbus to pay attention and take action to the needs of the most underinvested members of our community. These murals are an entry point of sorts to a conversation that has too long been ignored across the country. Deliver Black Dreams is more than a campaign, it is a commitment. It is simply saying that if we believe Black lives matters, then we must commit to delivering Black dreams. Reimagining what safety, healthcare, wealth, education, and culture looks like in our city. We hope to expand this work into other sectors, offer mentorships and opportunities to young artists, grants, and develop opportunities that will expand the footprint of art in our city, in addition to systemic change. Our short-term goals of public art and our long-term goals of changing culture in our city are inextricably linked. People in our community are suffering and discouraged by the injustices we see. We need form to follow function. We need form to follow function to make change in our city. We need function to follow form to make change in our city. We deliver Black dreams by making sure that the most vulnerable amongst us are heard and can thrive. Our hope is to develop a comprehensive program and partners that can accompany these artistic activations as these murals go up. And we hope that other sectors will take up the mantle in helping us ensure that Black dreams are delivered and realized. I will close before I pass it off to one of the most capable artists, one of the most amazing people I've ever had the honor of working with, Lisa McClyman, with a quote by Dr. King. And that simply says, "As long as there is poverty in the world, I can never be rich, even if I have $1 billion. As long as diseases are rampant and millions of people in this world cannot expect to live more than 28 or 30 years, I can never be totally healthy, even if I just got a good checkup at Mayo Clinic. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. This is the way our world is made. No individual or nation can stand out boasting of being independent. We are interdependent." So I hope that this first mural sets a path of inviting. This is an invitation to all in our city to get involved, to figure out how we make this thing work for our city. I appreciate all the support that the city has put behind this so far. There's still a lot of work to do, but I'm grateful for the opportunity to play a small role in helping Columbus deliver Black dreams. And so with that being said, I will pass the floor to my good friend and fellow artist, Lisa McClyman. Thank you.
Hi, thanks, Marshall. Thank you, Mayor Ginther, and thank you, Shayla Favor, for this opportunity to raise our voices. Thank you to Jamie Goldstein and the Greater Columbus Arts Council for allowing this opportunity to grow in the way it has. I'm so proud to be a part of it. As the lead artist, the wall is very intentional to kick off with something that states "Deliver Black Dreams" as a demand of it's for all of us to raise our voices and fight for change. To, as Marshall said, provide more stability for the marginalized or the underinvested. It's my intention as an artist to do this work for racial equity and make change and bring positivity and hope. I feel like this mural does all of that. I could not have done it without the help of Hakeem Callwood and Marcus Billingsley and April Tsunami and Brian Moss and Francesca Miller and Pete Shelby, along with Sherry Neal and all of the Marine Arts group. I'm thrilled to be at the forefront of this for Columbus, to make this statement and see positive change come as a result of it. It's not over yet.
Thank you so much, Lisa and Marshall. I want to, and Councilmember Favor, I do want to acknowledge many of our sponsors for this campaign. Has been said before. Obviously, the city was very pleased under the leadership of Councilmember Favor and her colleagues to be a sponsor. The American Electric Power Foundation, Huntington, Ohio State Energy Partners, the Ohio State University, obviously the Greater Columbus Arts Council. Additional support was provided by Cardinal Health, Grange Insurance, and Sherwin Williams. I think it is a very powerful message. Black lives only matter if you can deliver Black dreams. We can't have one without the other. Otherwise, it's just a hollow phrase or slogan. Black Lives Matter means you have to deliver Black dreams. And that's the incredible opportunity that we have before us as a city, as a community, and as a country. And to have these brilliant artists and creative geniuses helping to lead this and spark this, I couldn't be more proud of our community, our city. So thank you. I'm not sure if there are any questions. Do we have any members of the press with us, or are they all at the DeWine press conference? I don't think we have any additional questions. Councilmember Favor, any closing comments, anything you'd like to share before we wrap up?
No, Mayor Gensler, I just want to say, extend my appreciation to every single artist, thinker, creative that has helped to turn this dream into a reality. There is a part of me that is almost in disbelief that we are actually here today and we are saying these things out loud, that the mayor of our city has made this statement and has done more than just made this statement, has put energy and commitment behind it. And that brings me great joy, not only for my community, but for the generations of Black and Brown people that will be here in Columbus, Ohio, long before we're gone. So I'm excited for what this project is going to do, how it is going to change lives, spark amazing, critical conversations in our community. And I am grateful for the city's commitment to delivering Black dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Member, and again to Marshall and Lisa and all of your colleagues. Thank you for your vision, your leadership, your execution. We look forward to celebrating the next step in this longer, multifaceted campaign, and wish everyone a safe and healthy beginning of the holiday season if I don't see you beforehand. God bless. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.